morning, guys. We are headed to, hold on.
Just push a button.
Yeah, look at that. So we're headed to Wisconsin. I think that's how you're supposed to say it. But this guy right here is going to be my my guest for the miles between for a whole lot of miles.
Let me tell y'all, this guy, do you know how to do this? Because this is like the important stuff.
I can do it.
You better do it. You better do it right.
I can do it.
So anyway, so this beautiful lady has got to stay behind. She's got to hold down the fort with the children and the domestic stuff so that we can go out and have the fun.
And all the other work.
She's not a domestic diva. She's like a domestic goddess or like a domestic emperor.
Empress.
Empress. So anyway, Christy is turning over the helm reluctantly to this guy, but here's the thing: we've done the miles between with a few other people, like Gene and
Easton.
We haven't released Easton yet, so anyway.
Oh, that's funny one.
So we've got
some big shoes to fill.
We've got some funny ones, but I feel like this guy right here is going to be the one that can hold his own, because if there's another guy out there that's pretty close to the level of not right that I got going on, is that dude right there.
Is that a good thing?
It's gonna be a tough edit, I can promise you that, because there's gonna be a lot of stuff that we talk about that we can't show you.
Just can't be.
But yeah, so we're heading to La Crosse, Wisconsin. You guys search the hashtag Explore La Crosse and you can find some awesome stuff that they got going on up there. We got some biblical rain coming. We might see Noah and the ark, and we might see a line of animals headed to a particular area, but we're gonna go fish the backwaters of the Mississippi River. Normally when I go into an area, I've done a lot of research. This time, I gotta give a legitimate shout out to my good buddy FLW Touring Pro John Cox. He has helped me out with a significant amount of here's where you ought to go, and here's what he did. He fishes that Crosse liner, you know, that aluminum boat. So he can get into a lot of places that other bass boats can't. But he called me and said, dude, you've got to come up here and fish. He's like, there are places that I wish I could get into. I'm coming back up here with a kayak. And so actually when I called him and told him we're going to film, he's got another event and he can't come. So he's like, dude, just sent me tons of intel. I think we're in good hands.
We just send him pictures all day.
Exactly. Hey man, you're right. That place you couldn't get to, there's some giants in there. So
awesome.
Anyway guys, we're about to jump on the road.
Well, I gotta go take care of the kids.
Can you get out of here?
Yeah. So, but listen, you had packed everything, and there was a little bottle in the kitchen, so I found it. So you can't forget your Cox juice.
Oh, speaking of John,
yeah,
we're taking our Cox juice on this trip.
Spread it all over the stuff, and
catch more bass with the Cox juice. It's non-toxic. I just can't get over the fact that they put handcrafted on Cox juice.
How else do you get it?
Well, there's that. So we're gonna keep this PG-12, Mr. Redding.
Hey. Is it edible? Since it's non-toxic? Like, are those?
Why would?
Only Christy would go there. So anyway,
I got this.
We're gonna get. We're gonna get on the road, guys. Heading to Wisconsin. We're gonna bring you along for the journey. Here's the deal.
Not me along. You're not bringing me along.
We can't bring Christy along.
I'm thinking that we're gonna paddle out just a little ways, about a half mile, and there's a few clean pockets that I'm hoping are still there. And the duckweed was really thick in there just the other day, and we got a lot of blow-ups. I don't think those fish are going to move too far. We got a little slight wind today, that we'll have to play around with, but I'm thinking these fish are going to be chewing this morning.
That's what I like to hear. Chewing is good.
All right, there we go. Nice little start to the morning. What we have here is a little current coming through this little cut, and there's some deep water right here, about 5 foot, which in these backwaters, 5 foot can make all the difference. And it seems like they're just sitting right here letting this current bring food right to them. So nice little fish. Let's see if we can get another one. I tell you what, this anchor really is the deal.
Yeah. And all you got to do is reel it up and let it hang over the side and go to the next spot and drop it again. I'm gonna come in here and hit it from a different angle if that's cool.
Yep.
Little dude, little smacker.
Yeah, I can't believe how much the water has dropped in 2 days. I bet it's dropped 2 feet. Oh, there's another hit.
That was pretty good. I wasn't looking, but from over here you heard. So there was the right amount of delay in there, you know?
Right.
You didn't have premature ejaculation, you know? Sometimes it just don't work out. Especially when they got to come up through that mat. There you go.
All right. Little chunker. I threw at him a couple times and he popped at it, then he finally committed. He's got a healthy gut on him though. It's a little 14-incher. Bullfrog.
Right there where you're at is a little drain going through there that I've seen 3 or 4 roll in.
So yeah, this is Mississippi River Backwater 101, throwing a frog back here. You guys have seen that there's miles and miles of grass and slop and duckweed like this, and it's just a fertile environment for bass, and frogging is really one of the key methods to pull them out of this grass, you know. I like to throw a dark frog most of the time, simply because a white frog seems to attract a lot more northerns.
Yeah. Since there is miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of this stuff, you know, what are you looking for in a, you know, Mississippi backwater frogging spot? Like if you have, you know, 3 key elements or 4 key elements, or you know, what are the things that you're looking for that you want to zero in on to find that mat that's going to hold fish versus that one that's just like the other miles of empty mat?
This little section right here has a combination of almost everything you're looking for. You can't tell, but this cut that comes through here is actually cut out a ditch, and it's about 5.5 feet right here in the middle, which doesn't seem like that's very deep, but in a backwater like this, it's everything. It also, with this current, gives them a little bit more oxygen, and you know, there's bluegill and bait fish that sit in here because of that. So these bass come in, they've got a little bit of deeper water to kind of escape to. They'll come up in these mats and feed. And then on top of that, it's very clean. So these grasses, even though we've got a lot of muddy water, as the water's flowing through, it's filtering through this grass. And this area right here, even though there's a little bit of current, is maintaining this crystal clear water, which allows those bass to see and feed. So clean water, a little bit of current, and a little bit of depth with bait fish is the perfect combination, and I think we found that right here.
So do you guys have a lot of avian predators here? A lot of eagles and hawks and birds of prey?
Yeah, there's bald eagles and red-tailed hawks are pretty abundant through here. A lot of times in the spring when the ice is out, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of bald eagles that are eating the dying shad from the winter kill.
Yeah. So I've got a little acronym that I tell people to kind of remember, and it's TOFS. TOFS, it's temperature, oxygen, food, and security. And a lot of times when you've got an avian threat, you know, bass don't really like to be exposed. They like to be up under something. And so right here you've got the right temperature, you've got oxygen, you've got the combination of the fact that it's moving, making the water a little cooler. You've got food, obviously, pulling into the mats and being brought through with the current like a conveyor belt, and then the mat itself, you know, provides security. The S also plays double duty as structure, and a lot of times the structure is the security. But yeah, this is the perfect like textbook, like you said. You got everything you need. And before our camera guy made it out, because we're trying to pull double duty with shooting the drone shot so you guys can see the backcountry back here and how much, you know, flooded area there is back here. You had already pulled 2 or 3 fish off this mat. Right. And since then, you've pulled a couple more off of there, and then I just missed 2. So that one little mat right there, you know, can hold 15 or 20 fish. Yeah, we're getting some blow-ups and some follows here. So I feel like you could sit here for quite a while and it'll replenish. Well, and the other thing too is, you know, I'm a big fan of the lunar times, and everybody loves low light, daylight and dark, but we've got a cool deal this morning where right about the time that low light is going to kind of be gone or start to taper off, the feeding time kicks in, 7:30 to 9:30. So we should have a really good strong morning, which is that perfect situation where, like what you're doing today, you're able to go into work a little bit late, so you get out on the water, get 4 or 5 hours, get a lot of action. And so I tell people all the time, don't go fishing when you should, go fishing when you could. Right. But if you could go fishing when you should, that's when you should go fishing, right? And so if you're going to pick that day to play hooky, pick the best day to play hooky, you know what I mean? Or if you're going to pick that day to go in late or cash in your brownie points with mama, you know, try to make all of the variables line up into your favor.